Welcome to a story about time, memory, and the quiet beauty of second chances. This is not just a meeting between two people. It's the echo of what was and what still lingers. In the heart of New York, where every street hides a memory, we find two souls crossing paths once more after years apart. It had been almost 8 years since Paul and Alice last saw each other. The city had changed. Taller buildings, louder streets, and yet some corners of New York still held memories like pressed flowers between the pages of time. One of those corners was a small coffee shop on 7th Avenue, the kind that still played old jazz and served cappuccinos with too much foam. Paul arrived first. He sat by the window, nervously stirring a coffee he hadn't touched, waiting. When the bell above the door finally rang, he looked up, and there she was.
Alice! Wow, you look different, but in the best way.
Paul, you haven't changed that much. Maybe a little older, maybe more serious. Or maybe that's just your teacher face.
Guilty as charged. Grading papers will do that to you. It's like fighting a never-ending war with red ink.
I can imagine. You were always the perfectionist. Every essay had to make sense. Every idea had to fit somewhere.
So tell me, how's that new life as a writer?
It's complicated. Beautiful, terrifying, and sometimes lonely. The first book did better than I expected. People actually read it and some even liked it. But success is strange, Paul. It doesn't feel like what I thought it would.
How so?
I thought I'd feel complete, published, recognized, fulfilled. Instead, I feel like I'm always chasing the next sentence, the next story. It's like trying to catch smoke with your hands.
I get that. When I started teaching, I thought I'd find purpose in helping others learn. But after a while, it becomes routine. The passion is there, sure, but the spark fades a little.
You sound tired, Paul.
Maybe I am. I love what I do, but sometimes I wonder, did I settle too soon? You went after your dream, Alice. You left a city, took risks, wrote stories. I stayed here, took the stable path.
Don't say that like it's a bad thing. Stability is a kind of bravery, too. Not everyone can live with uncertainty the way I do.
Still, I envy you. You got out.
And yet, here I am, back.
Back? For good?
I don't know yet. Maybe. My publisher wants me to meet people here, maybe teach a writing workshop. But part of me just wanted to see the city again, and the people I left behind.
The people, huh? Does that list include me?
Of course it does. You were my best friend, Paul. You were the one who told me I should write, remember? That night by the river, we sat on that old bridge, and you said, if you don't write, the stories will die inside you.
I remember. You cried that night.
I did, because it scared me to realize you were right.
A pause falls between them. The cafe hums with low voices and the sound of spoons clinking against cups. Outside, rain begins to fall against the glass. Alice looks out the window, lost in thought.
Do you ever miss it? The time before all this? Before success? Before the books?
Sometimes, when life was simpler, when I could just write without thinking about reviews or deadlines, when I could write just for the joy of it.
That's the thing about growing up. We forget how to enjoy what we once loved.
And you? Do you miss anything?
I missed being young and believing I could change everything. I missed the feeling of standing in front of a classroom and thinking I could light a spark in every student. Now I just try to keep the fire from going out.
That sounds sad.
Not sad, just real. Life isn't always about new beginnings. Sometimes it's about keeping the small things alive.
Like old friendships.
Exactly like that.
Do you ever wonder what would have happened if we hadn't gone our separate ways?
All the time. But then I think, Maybe that's why this moment feels special, because it almost didn't happen.
You always did know how to say the right thing.
No, I just learned to mean what I say.
It's funny. I thought meeting you again would be awkward, but it's not. It feels peaceful.
That's how you know it's real. Time changes people, but not the connection that mattered.
Paul, maybe we should do this again sometime.
I'd like that. More than you know.
And as the rain falls outside, two old friends, or perhaps something more, find themselves not where they left off, but somewhere entirely new. The rain had stopped by the time they left the cafe. The air was cool, the streets glistening under the dim light of the city. Paul and Alice walked side by side, their steps slow, their words unhurried. It felt like stepping into a memory, one that never truly ended, only paused.
Do you remember how we used to come here after class? Just walking, talking about everything and nothing?
Yeah, back when we thought life was waiting for us to catch up.
And now it feels like it's running ahead of us.
You could say that. Time has a funny way of teaching you who you really are.
Did you ever think we'd end up like this? Two grown-ups talking about what we used to dream of doing?
I think part of me always knew we'd end up finding our way back. Maybe not here, maybe not now, but someday.
You sound so certain.
Not certain, just hopeful. There's a difference.
You know, Paul, sometimes I write about people like us.
Like us? How so?
Two people who share connection, but life pulls them apart. They move on, build new lives, but deep down, there's always something unfinished, like a sentence missing its final word.
That sounds painfully familiar.
It's easier to write it than to live it.
And yet, you chose to live it. You chose to follow your story.
Maybe I did, but sometimes I wonder what I gave up to do it.
You mean us?
I don't know. Maybe?
You didn't owe me anything, Alice. We were young. We both had paths we needed to take.
But I left without saying goodbye. You deserved one.
You gave me something better. A reason to remember.
You make it sound poetic.
Maybe I learned that from you.
Do you ever think about writing, Paul?
Me? I barely have time to sleep between classes and grading papers.
Still, you always had a way with words.
Maybe once. But now I just write lesson plans.
That's still writing. It's still shaping minds.
Yeah, but sometimes I wonder, what if I'd been brave enough to take risks like you did? Maybe I could have been someone else.
You already are someone, Paul. Someone who made a difference.
You always knew how to say things that sound true, even when I want to argue.
Because sometimes we forget the truth needs to be heard out loud. You know what's strange? I've met hundreds of people since I left. Writers, editors, readers, but none of them ever made me feel as understood as you did.
That's because I knew you before the world did. I knew the version of you who doubted, who dreamed, who believed.
And you still know her?
I never forgot her.
Do you ever think about what we could have been?
Every now and then. But I've learned not to live in the what-ifs.
You're better at that than I am. My whole career is built on what-ifs.
Then maybe that's why you became the writer. And I became the one who reads stories like yours, trying to find myself in them.
Maybe we're both still writing this one.
What do you mean?
This story, ours. Maybe it's not over. Maybe it's just paused for a long time.
I'd like that. If it means we still get another chapter.
You should come to my workshop tomorrow. We're talking about writing from memory. You'd have something to say about that.
You think so?
I know so.
Then I'll be there.
Good. Maybe this time we won't let the story end halfway.
Some meetings are just coincidences. Others are the universe giving you a second draft. And that night in Central Park, as Paul and Alice disappeared into the mist, it felt like both.